Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph and today, well, first of all I need to apologise about Sunday. I didn't put a video out, I wasn't very well. As you can probably tell, my voice is still a bit croaky, but alas, we are back and I thought we will start. Halloween's around the corner, so let's have a look at Skeletor and my Halloween Cotoneaster. Now, this Cotoneaster was set as a challenge by Gavin over at Not Another Bonsai channel. Go check him out. Cool dude. I don't think he's posted in a while, but get on his channel, have a look at his videos, tell him, get his bum into gear, get a video out. So this bad boy here was a challenge he set a couple of years back, and next year I am going to repot it, and I think Skeletor might disappear, and I think it might be a standalone tree in a smaller pot because I am still developing it away from the Skeletor spooky tree look, and I want to develop it now and redefine it more as a standalone tree, as I say. So today I'm going to continue that vibe. I'm going to give it a little bit of a trim, and I'm going to get it more and more down that path of a nice looking Cotoneaster bonsai tree. So as I say, today I just want to give it a bit of a prune, get it ready for the polytunnel over winter in it. It's got a bit more growth. Now, a good thing with Cotoneasters is you can do this sort of styling all the way through any time of year, which is nice. So again, I'm going to do it today. Well, without further ado, let's chit chat. Switch the camera around and let's start doing this. And I'd like to start off by saying, if you've not seen this Skeletor, which is this lovely dude here, and my Cotoneaster tree, where have you been? Go check out the video. I've got a little playlist of this video, this tree. As I say, it's a Cotoneaster, and I originally had this set up as a Halloween special from Gavin from Not Another Bonsai channel. Now, the original concept behind it was a Halloween special, like I just said, and I chose the tree because it's got these lovely little red berries, as you can see here. And the concept behind it was, I had a couple of Cotoneasters that I'd purchased, and I thought it's a Halloween theme based, and if you have a look at it, the red berries themselves look like poison apples with the skeletons in this graveyard like pot. So I went down that route. It looks quite spooky, but now, as I say, I am looking at making it into a proper bonsai tree. So everything Halloween decoration themed is going to be going, and today we are just looking at giving it a nice trim. So as usual, the first thing I'm doing is just going to go around the tree, looking at things that are crossing, looking at things that are going upwards in the tree, and I'm just going to remove those sort of things. But just opening up there, you can see the nice berries that are on show, and as I say, they look like poison apples, so that was the inspiration behind the whole concept of this tree. And I think if you go back and have a look at the earlier design, it was more wild than it is now. I mean, I've done a couple of videos on it, cutting back more and more, and the actual berries themselves do really give that inspiration of poison apples. So something like is it Sleeping Beauty with the witch with the poison apple? That was my theme, and I think I did really well with that idea, and I really liked it, so that's where I went with it. And the berries are just really stand out with the skeleton that is I nicknamed Skeletor. So that's the theme that I went with, and the direction I went with it in it as well. But alas, now we need to make progress and make it more of a proper traditional bonsai, and that means losing the whole Halloween theme behind, which, if you go through previous videos, more or less at least the last two where I did proper styling on it. So at least the last one I had crossing branches in this area here, just at the back. I had a big branch that I took off, was going back, which did fill up this area at the back. Once I cut it off, I've now got a big segment at the back here. So if I spin it round, it filled this area up and it went straight through here. I know I've got you on a slightly different angle, so it came from back here and it came all the way across, filling this negative space. So now it's got to get to the point where I've now got to grow other sections. So this branch here, I think it was, I've now got to get this branch thicker. So I'm going to leave this one to grow really far out and develop it. So hopefully that'll thicken the branch, and that will then fill in the area that was left. That's left the negative space from the branch that we've taken out. These other branches that I'm taking out just here, these are the crossing branches, ones that are not going to be in the design. So these are just growing upwards and in the wrong direction. So that's all I'm taking out at the moment. So nothing too strenuous in using the brain capacity. Well, these are just easy decisions that you should be making. Even if get your words out, Christoph. Even as a novice, they're just basic stuff. So stuff growing up, you just need to be looking out for. This is all I'm doing. I've got you on a different angle so I can show you the big cut, which was there. So that is the big cut I'm just going on about, and the branch itself went right across this section. So as you can see, it's opened up this hole in right there. So if I move the tree in a different orientation, you can see that it opened up this section. So where the branch was, it came across here, but it also split and filled this entirety of. So the branch we are now growing off is going to be this section here. So this will come through, thicken up, and it'll fill this section here. So then we've got to grow sections off it as well to develop. And we've also got another branch. If I just move that one, we've got the option, this one coming through as well, that'll also fill this section. So while this one fills up, it can also be moved into that direction to fill this negative space, where this one can come across here and then can branch off and fill this sort of negative space. So that's the idea. We've also got these sections, this, and well, this one won't be here, but this one here as well. So I'll be leaving this to thicken up. This will also come across and fill this and this. Once Skeletor does eventually go, we will then start developing around this section to pad. But for now, I just need to keep cutting back and allowing this sort of section here just to keep back budding. Because obviously I can thicken this up, but this is bending. So as this comes out, it'll continue to bend and warp, which obviously is not the case we want to be. Well, it's not the way we want to develop it really. We want to develop it outwards. So until Skeletor comes and disappears, I can't really go too much further in developing that way. But again, if you look at it that way, we might not necessarily want to develop it too far because it goes in the wrong direction. It goes backwards. We might want to go this way. And if there is any wind noise today, we are starting, or we're sort of in and out of a storm. We are on the tips of it, so we keep getting a bit of blusteriness. And I'll also say, I've got my other, if you can see it, I'll just zoom you in, just on the left there, I've got my other table, and I've started to fill it as well with some of my my trees. So yeah, cool times. So I'll continue on this one. We'll show you. We'll just neaten up these pads and we'll start looking into making this tree into the bonsai that it needs to be. Now I've only done one section, which is this section over here, and as I say, we're turning this into a bonsai. So if I turn you up to the top, you can just see what I've been doing. So I've been trimming out all the unnecessary sections, so anything that's been growing back into the tree, anything I don't need, anything that's going upwards, and then I've just left the end sections to grow out so far. So here we go. So I've got this section here that I will be utilizing. Now just need to reduce the length of it so far, and then I've got these sections as well that you can see grow out. I just want to reduce those as well, so somewhere here. And if I just bring you into a section, I've got all this section here. Again, just need to reduce the length of it, but you can see that now I've got this section that grows in, splits off, comes this way, splits off, comes this way, and then splits off into two as well. So that's just one section of the tree, and I just need to reduce, as I say, that part, which I will do in a minute, but not quite yet. I want to continue into this apex and then around the other sections of the tree. As you can see, these sections are still very much bushy, and I need to just thin these out, leave what I need, some of the long bits like this, so I can then pick which ones I want to continue to grow out to thicken, and then which ones I want to reduce again, so like back here, and then that will continue to back bud as well later on. But now you can see where I took that big branch up previously in the past, and you can see all the other cuts as well. So all the big cuts I had done previously in the past, they were because I left the tree as a Halloween tree, which was all, well, it was all like this, and Halloween and spooky. But now we are, as I say, we are developing it as a proper bonsai tree. So bonsai techniques are coming into practice, and we need to remove Skeletor later on. So it's coming in step by step. Now I'm working on the apex, and I've just made one big cut, and I've decided to make this as the new leader. So in turn, what I've done is I've chopped this big section off here. And as you can see, it used to be, actually it used to be like this. If I just position it like that, I've removed it all, which gives me a now apex that looks like this. And it looks a little bit weird from that angle, so that is front on. And if you bring you in properly, I'll put you on the correct angle, which is there, and I move you out slightly to this angle here. So this is the tree, and if I finish in doing my cuts, so this is the front here, and now because I've made that cut, it now gives me a nice conical angle to work with. So the tree's basic structure, everything is pruned in. I've done my main pruning, which is what I said. I took a little bit off the front here as well, which was the big one. I took all the leading straight bit sections like this, anything that leans into the tree, anything that leans across the tree, and I've just gone and cleared all these sections that was just congested through the main sections of the tree as well. So just anything that's congested around these little sections here, and then it leaves me with this open section. So now, as you can see through the previous videos as well, from the previous cuts, I've now got a pretty conical shaped tree. It's not complete, but from the front section it looks pretty conical. Now this is my leader. I'm going to leave it as is at the moment. I'm just going to let it grow a little bit thicker. I think probably, well, we'll see. So for now, I'm just going to come in and reduce everything back a little bit. So just about here, and then come round to the sides here. I'm just going to come in and reduce everything as well. I'm just going to bring everything in tight basically, and all that is doing is allowing, okay, let's clear that up, is allowing everything to come off straight and then split into these designated branches. So once everything does back bud again, it's now coming out. It's not too long. I don't want it, I don't want too long straight bits before it back buds, and then I don't want the next straight bits too long as well. I want them at a reasonable length. So for me that is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to come in and snip there, and the same there again, and then as that shoots again, I can trim it back. Let's just clear those sections out, and then I'm working a way around. If you see these sections out the front here, they come out, they will eventually pad out to around about here, but again I'm just going to bring them back just that smidgen, and the same with these sections as well. They are just that little bit too long for the time being. So this section comes out, splits into two branches here. These two branches split off. This one branches out, splits into two, splits into two. So again, everything is nice, coming along nicely. This front section here comes out, is way too long. It's going to come in, bring it back, spin round the back as well. We're going to do exactly the same for some of these long bits, but first of all I'm personally just going to come down and have a look on an aerial view and see which ones I would like to thicken up, to see what I need in terms of filling out the area that we were looking at. Now the ones I was going to fill out I've reduced, because I wanted to reduce it before it splits, which is nice. So even though I wanted it to come across here, which is the one I did, after thicken out, I didn't want to do it, but I have done it, so I'm going to leave with it. I'm going to reduce these ones back to there. I'm going to use the directional pruning as well, and I'm also going to reduce them there, and I'm going to come back and reduce that to there. Snip that one back. Just going to pull these all back here, here and here. Now this branch, if you can see, you can't really see it too well, but for me it is a bit too long, but as that back buds in, it won't be too bad. Snip back, bring back, and then it just leaves me with the leader. So I'm just going to bring the leader back in to there, and I think we are golden. If anything, I'm going to bring that back a little bit. I've got a leaf here, I'm going to bring it to there, and I'm going to do the same with this leaf at the front. Okay, I'll just bring you in slightly closer so you can have a better look. So as I say, slightly closer, so I'll give you a good close-up view. So now you can see the tree. I've got you a nice close angle. So the tree itself, if I give you a bit of a spin also. So all these sections now should develop nice padding as we come to it. So let me stand up. I'm just going to move my chair out of the way. So all these sections now will develop pads as we go forward. We've got a nice round section. As you can see, each bit will develop padding. The one branch I did say was maybe a little bit long was going to be this one here, but it goes well. It comes through the tree and then comes into the bottom section, and then it does line up with the rest of the padding, so I'm not too concerned. The branch itself is at the bottom, as I say, so it's probably going to get shaded out once everything pads in. It's going to get like this, so the outside bit is probably going to pad out, and yeah, so these are going to be leaves, so it won't be too bad. You won't see it, and it's going to be, yeah, it is what it is. As I say, the rest of it's going to get leaves like this, so it'll be in the right position. So there we go. It's going to get all the padding in them sections. I'll just bring you around this bit, spin the tree, and then if I get you on this angle here, you can now see where the leader is going to be. It is a little bit congested for the time being. I should probably, I think, maybe that's, and I do need to just, my fingers are a bit big, but I need to snip that little section out, I think. I'm not left-handed, but I've got a little bit there. I just need to unsnip. There we go. That's better, I think. So yeah, so the leader's here, and then I've got a little branch here, and the branch here, and I've got ones coming in, and one here as well. So they'll be all nice in. I'll have a nice leader developed. So the tree itself, as I say, looks quite butchered once you start working on these Cotoneasters. They do leave quite big wounds, but they start healing up like this eventually. As you see, I've got some big cut marks on previous work on this, but I think overall it's going to go in the right direction from where it was, and I think we've got a nice conical shape going into it now, and I think a good bonsai is on the way. We get rid of Skeletor, we put it in a nice pot next year. It'll look quite good. So the Cotoneaster is going in the right direction. Well, at least I feel like it's going in the right direction. If you have a look at it now, it's coming along. I feel like it's doing right. The back section is filling out quite nicely. Look at that. It's going to be really good once all that padding section develops and we get rid of Skeletor, get it in a proper pot. This section is going to fill in quite nicely as well. It's just this section here. Once the apex starts developing, you know, I think it'll come along quite nicely. The front here, this will develop a little bit later on, and then it'll start being a conical. It does look like it's on a little bit of an angle, but once we replant it, I can put it in a little bit more of a better suited angle if I do feel like a new pot is going to make it look better. But if not, I can leave it on a more traditional angle, or I can leave it as a tilted angle, depending on what sort of conical shape I feel like it's going to look best. Anyway, from Halloween beginnings to a more traditional style bonsai, I think this one's coming along quite well. If you do agree, please do hit the like button and let me know in the comments if you like Skeletor's awesome little tree. And please hype this video as well, because the hype button seems to be working quite well. It's getting the videos out to people. And once again, I'd like to apologise to everybody for not putting a video out on Sunday. I was really sick. I've got that bug that's been going around. I know Sean from SB Bonsais had it as well. So Sean, hope you're doing all right as well, pal. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, as I say, everything's going all right over here in the Bonsai Expression garden. We've even got, as I've shown you, we've even got the polytunnel going quite well now with the old benches in there. So soon, the rest of the trees will be going over there for winter. So see you in the next one, everybody. Have a good winter, and continue looking after your bonsais and continue looking after yourselves. Don't get ill like I did. And if you do, look after yourself. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.